Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of EDU 600, Research Methods and Techniques. We are now, actually starting on Monday, we will be entering week number 5, which is pretty amazing. We're through the first 25% of the course, and now we are moving into the latter part of the first half of the class. So congratulations on making it this far and doing so well in the class. I think the discussion forums are wonderful. I continue to read those. I want to really thank everybody for the robust discussions that you've been having online, and it's just fabulous for me to see. So thank you for that. So this week, starting on Monday, we enter Module 5, or week number 5. We're shifting gears. We're going from qualitative research to now quantitative research and quantitative designs. I think from teaching this class quite a few times in the past, this type of research is more known, more familiar to the students, and case in point, I was up early this morning and I was having a cup of coffee. I was watching the news, the local news, and they gave some polling numbers for the governor's race that's coming up in Maine. And they mentioned that Janet Mills was 12 points ahead of Paul LePage. And, immediately I thought, okay, I want to see some more information on this poll and who, I think it was Emerson College out of Boston were the ones that conducted it, but I wanted more information. How many people, what was the sample size? At some point today, I'll dig into that data a little more. But this is for them to report on the early poll numbers for the governor's race in Maine. It means that they probably did combination of things. They could have sent something out electronically using text messages, a link to get people to go to a Likert scale survey, or they could have called people. I'm not sure how they did it, but that's a pretty typical example of quantitative designs. So just say they used a survey. They got the respondents to put down their answers on the survey. It could be a 5-point Likert scale or a 7-point scale. They get the numbers and then they analyze the numbers. In qualitative research, you're looking at the numbers, or the data actually are things like words and trends and how many times did people say a certain word. In quantitative, they're looking at the numbers. There are some that think quantitative designs is easier, or the results are easier to understand because it's just numbers. And there's others that say, oh man, there's so many different statistical tests that can be used. It's so much harder than qualitative design. I don't think it's either or, they're just different. So with that introduction, I'll give you an idea of what we're going to be doing this week. Please take a look at, please listen to the video. By the way, this is not one of my favorite places in Maine. This isn't Popham Beach. This happens to be somewhere in South Carolina. And if you might be saying, God, we get so many pictures of the beach here. I love the beach. Today is Saturday morning. It's about, I don't know, maybe 50 degrees outside where I am in Maine, and it's sunny. And at some point today, I will be walking the beach. I try to get there at least once a week. So bear with me. I just like putting the pictures in. Okay, so you're looking at the video. Quantitative research is a process of collecting and analyzing numerical data. That's it. That's in a nutshell. Now, there's different models, there's different designs that we're going to be taking a look at, but that is really the big difference between qualitative and quantitative. It's the process of collecting and analyzing numerical data. Then that doesn't mean words. That doesn't mean conducting a focus group. Although every time you say it doesn't include, then you run into some issues. But take a look at that. And I mentioned in here, during the past 2 years, you've read and heard about science, medical experts discussing the importance of, COVID tests, etc. That's classic. People are coming up with the actual numbers, how many people are infected by counties. Classic quantitative research. So what I'd like you to do, read chapters 6 and 7. Please view these videos. These are by, as you can see, Jeff Beaudry. This one is not by Jeff Beaudry, but it has to do with reliability and validity. These concepts are applied to evaluate the quality of the collection tools, meaning the survey, the test, the measures, the observation. And just a word on this, for anybody that has conducted research, a lot of times you use an instrument, like if you're using a Myers-Briggs type instrument, it's based upon work that's been done by researchers for a long time. There's a lot of people that have used it. It's reliable and it's valid. And part of the reason when you're conducting quantitative research, you're pretty much, most of us that have done it shy away from developing a new instrument because it hasn't been, so to speak, vetted before. And vetting the quality of the research comes down to reliability and the validity. We'll get into this a little more in the upcoming weeks. I'd like you to participate in a discussion forum, meaning read this article. Please describe and explain the following concepts. And, once again, if you don't understand something in here, there's something that just doesn't make sense, just say it. Say, I really didn't understand. I don't know enough yet about quantitative research to critically evaluate the methodology, sampling, and the analysis. I will say one thing. The data analysis, you're going to see how they did the analysis. Take a look at that, and it's okay to say they used an ANOVA test to analyze the data. If you don't fully understand that test, no problem. I'm looking for the facts. How did they do it? How did they, what was the sampling, etc. Okay, and I just put this in there, the assignment, the critique of the qualitative article. I'll have more information on this coming up, but I will give you just a preview. This is not due for 2 weeks, and it is the critique. We have 2 critiques in the class. One is this one, which is a qualitative article critique, and the other one comes later on in the class, which is an experimental critique, which is quantitative. So I spell it out here. So what we did, not last week when we had our group discussions, Group A, Group B, Group C, you will be writing your critique on the article that your group read. Meaning, if you were assigned to Group B, the title of that research was Making It Facebook Official. That is the article that you will use for the critique. Now, I understand you didn't write the whole thing, but the purpose of that group assignment was for you to analyze and discuss as a group. And I have to say, the discussions were fabulous between group members. So if you were Group A, whatever the article was, you will be writing your critique on Group A. Group B, Group C. Reread. So what I say is reread the qualitative article, and then you write 1,000 to 1,200 page critique. Guidelines, these are the titles. I will put some samples out there of qualitative critiques. These are, so that's in a nutshell what the assignment is. I'll have much more information on this next week. I don't want people to get bogged down looking too far ahead with this assignment, but if you're interested, you can take a look at just what is involved with a critique article coming up. And then I want to just mention to everybody, and I know I've received some already, that there's the Article Capture 1 assignment. This is the 3 of 6 research articles. It's due on Sunday, the 25th. And what happens with that is you submit the article capture forms. I take a look at those and I will give you feedback by the end of the week, probably next Saturday. I'll give you feedback saying, okay, you submitted 3 articles. 3 of them are perfect primary source documents. You're well on your way to go to use these as the 6 required for the end of the course. But there are times that I might say, number 1 and number 2 were great primary source documents, but number 3 was more just an article. So I give you feedback on that. So that is due. Well, that's a qualitative critique. And then we have our discussion posts. So where do you submit your article capture? Go back to week number 4. Just bear with me. So week number 4. Now I'm in week number 4. Come down to the bottom. Article capture 1. This is where you actually submit the article captures. And where can you find the form that you need? You click on the article capture once again. Here's the instructions, and here's the article capture form. It's in a Word doc, and please, if at all possible, use the Word doc. Using Google Docs at times, it's really difficult to submit those in the format that Brightspace gives us. So if at all possible, please use the form, the Word doc. Okay, that's enough out of me. If you have any questions this week, please let me know. Just a heads up, I am traveling on Wednesday and Thursday. I have a professional obligation. If you have any questions, I'm still looking at emails. You can call me. Please, if you do call me, I will leave a message. I'll call you back. But beyond there, hope you have a fabulous weekend and a great week. It's a gorgeous morning. It's probably, 50, 55 degrees, beautiful sunny day. And that's it for me. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll see everybody online. Bye.